As Israel responds to the terror attacks that have killed over 1,000 people, some Democrats are apparently not comfortable calling out the evil. Disturbing reports are mounting of the brutality that Hamas has inflicted on the people of Israel, including unthinkable acts of violence toward women and children. President Biden has been calling out the sheer act of evil, but Squad Representative Rashida Tlaib turning her back when asked point blank about it.
Terrorists have cut off babies' heads and burned children alive. Do you support Israel's rights to defend themselves against this brutality?
We're just going to go through there.
You have no comment about children's heads being chopped off? Congressman, why do you have the Palestinian flag outside your office if you do not condone what Hamas terrorists have done to Israel?
Still have the Palestinian flag up.
This is America. You're allowed to wear the flag that you prefer.
I think she has every right to have that Palestinian flag.
I'm not going to comment on Rashida. She's a great friend of mine.
She's Palestinian. You know, that doesn't mean she's a terrorist. It doesn't mean that she condones this.
Really? Why didn't she just say the simple words? Democratic Party, they have a big problem. And it's not just Tlaib. America's far-left bigots have been crawling out of the woodwork in alarming numbers after this weekend's attacks.
Nearly 24 hours after that, Congresswoman Tlaib is responding, saying in an interview, "I do not support targeting and killing of civilians, whether in Israel or Palestine. The fact that some have suggested otherwise is offensive and rooted in bigoted assumptions about my faith and ethnicity." The White House condemning Squad Democrats for their disgraceful comments.
We believe they're wrong, we believe they're repugnant, and we believe they're disgraceful.
President Biden just gave some remarks in which he made a very strong statement about silence.
Silence is complicity. Silence is complicity. It really is. And I want you to know, I think you've already figured it out, I refuse to be silent. I know you refuse to be silent as well.
Brett, Hillary Vaughn trying to get Rashida Tlaib to answer those questions.
She's intrepid.
Right, she was. And then Tlaib refuses to answer. Of course, she gives an interview later on. But why would it be that hard? I mean, where is the courage and bravery? If you're going to put the Palestinian flag outside your office, okay, great. Then explain. But instead, she just turned her back and walked away.
Yeah, I don't think there's an answer. I mean, if you look at all of the things that we're seeing every day coming in from those families, coming in from the children, it's not soldier on soldier. This is terrorist on baby, terrorist on family. So it's not defensible. And I think that that's why there was no response for 24 hours. I will say that the administration has done a pretty good job of kind of responding to this right away and forcefully. Not, usually they've kind of been around the edges. This was pretty forceful, and they did a pretty good job of it.
And I think that, Judge, it was clear to me that when Karine Jean-Pierre, the press secretary, says what she says against the Squad, that was coming directly from the boss.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. And I join Brett in recognizing that the president and his staff so far has made it clear that this is wrong. And what we've seen in this country for too long tells you all you need to know about Rashida Tlaib and her gang, that she couldn't recognize this as evil, that she wasn't able to say it's wrong, tells you everything you need to know. And for years in this country, we've been mired in this area of like a gray fog. What are we saying that hurts your sensitivities, hurts your feelings? How should I feel according to the way you feel? What microaggressions am I causing you to suffer? But now when we're confronted with real evil, it's time for us to put on our big boy pants and say, this is what we have to stop. This is what we have to confront. And it's time to start recognizing that when they're done over there, they're coming over here. And if anyone thinks, especially Rashida Tlaib, that these children that were burned alive or that were beheaded after their mothers were murdered, they're wrong.
Jessica, your thoughts today?
I would echo the sentiments from Brett and the judge about this. I think that President Biden has been appropriately forceful. I'm glad to see how much it's being appreciated over in Israel as well. I've seen a lot of reports coming out that he has served as a sort of balm, something that can actually soothe you at a moment when you're living in complete abject terror. Adding on to the Elie Wiesel point, obviously that's Holocaust related, and I'd like to call that out explicitly, that Joe Biden using those terms means that what we're seeing now is akin to what happened when 6 million Jews were exterminated. And that's very forceful. As far as Rashida Tlaib, someone that I have spoken out against a number of times, she has made it perfectly clear that she doesn't think two-state solutions work. And we know which side she's picking, right, if a two-state solution isn't feasible. But she also missed an opportunity. So she has a Palestinian flag outside of her office because she's Palestinian. She's the only Palestinian member of Congress. And I think she has every right to have that. But when you are being asked about it, why do you not take the opportunity to say Palestine and Hamas are different? This has nothing to do with Palestinians. My heart breaks for Israelis, and it breaks for innocent Gazans. Right. You know, Gaza's half children, you know, and I don't know why she was very upset. Steny Hoyer actually came to her defense yesterday saying she's beside herself about what's going on. Like, give her a second on this. But if you had the time to then process it and come back for that interview, educate people about the Palestinian people and that they have respect for human life and that Hamas has corrupted that message, if that is what you feel about it.
And the people in Palestine, in the Palestinian Authority, are victims of Hamas.
Correct.
As well.